Dear students, welcome to my online video class. I am Aziz Assistant English Teacher, Alipur Union Secondary School, Alipur Satya. Today I am going to take English class of class 8. Before starting my class, I am going to give you some suggestion on COVID-19. You know that COVID-19 is a pandemic disease prevailing all over the world, and at the present moment it is deteriorating gradually. And you know that the winter morning has already set in, and this disease may attack very crucially because of coldness. So I advise all of you to maintain social distance, maintain health rule, and you must use mask and you use hand sanitizer when out of your house, and overall you must maintain social distance. Dear students, now I am going to my topic. My today's topic is punctuation marks and also capitalization. Today I will discuss punctuation marks, and this question may fall in every type of examination of every class, such as class 6, class 7, 8, 9 and 10. And this is very important topic of grammatical item. And now today I am going to discuss, I am going to talk about the topic elaborately. And you know that actually punctuation is very emergency, very important in language section, because actually grammar is derived from language. At first, language is created by human beings, and next grammar is made according to the rules of language. So, dear students, sometimes we express our feelings fully or clearly and in our language, and at that moment we use some signs in our sentences, especially in written English, and then we use some signs. Okay, dear students, some signs, and these signs are called punctuation marks. There are so many signs in punctuation. I have already written on the blackboard, and you can see the punctuation marks written on the blackboard. First of all, full stop, full stop, and I have also drawn the punctuation, the signs of punctuation mark. That is full stop. This is the sign, comma. This is comma, semicolon, colon, note of interrogation, note of exclamation, inverted comma, apostrophe, hyphen, dash, brackets. Especially this type of punctuation marks are used in different areas of English sentences, isn't it? So, this type of punctuation marks must be learned by the learners, by the students of all kinds of institutions. And if we do not learn this section, we cannot write a fruitful topic, a fruitful sentence without the help of punctuation marks. And our sentence structure may be hampered only lack of punctuation marks. So, dear students, this item is very essential, very important in our English grammar. So, first of all, I will discuss with you about full stop. About full stop. Actually, full stop is used in sentences. These sentences are assertive sentence, imperative sentence, and last of all, optative sentence. These three sentences actually take full stop at the end of the sentence, at the end of every sentence. Okay, dear students. So I will show you three types of sentence and their uses of full stop. Such as dear learners, let's have a look on the blackboard. I have written Hassan reads a book. Hassan reads a book. And you have noticed that I put punctuation mark full stop at the end of the sentence. And what kind of sentence is it? It is assertive sentence. It is assertive sentence because Hassan subject, verb reads, and book object. If in any sentence there is an example, we call it assertive sentence. If in any kind of sentence, first of all subject, then verb, then object or extension, it is called assertive sentence. So we must use full stop at the end of assertive sentence. Next, imperative sentence. Dear students, I have also written a sentence and this is called imperative sentence because put the letter into the letter box. Into the letter box. Sorry, dear learners. Into the letter box. Put the letter into the letter box. Here, put is a verb. Put is a verb. And if any sentence starts with verb and it indicates simultaneously order, suggestion, command, and request, it is called imperative sentence. Because these type of activities are done in imperative sentence. So, put the letter into the letter box. It is an imperative sentence, and we must put full stop at the end of this sentence. Next, I will give another example of optative sentence. Dear students, I have written another sentence. May Allah be always with you. That means it is a kind of expression of prayer or wish. And this sentence is called optative sentence. Because at the beginning of the sentence we have written may. And if the starting word is may or long, it is called imperative optative sentence, and because this sentence indicates prayer or wish of somebody. Okay, dear learners. So this sentence is called optative sentence. So I have written three types of sentence. First of all, assertive sentence, and second, put the letter into the letter box. Imperative sentence, and last, may Allah bless, may Allah be always with you. This is called optative sentence. And at the end of every sentence, we must write full stop. So never forget this. item when we write assertive sentence, imperative sentence, or optative sentence. Okay, dear students. Next, full stop is used after every abbreviation word. Abbreviation word, that means there are big words or 2 or 3 words at a time used in a abbreviation. Thus, we must use full stop at the end of the abbreviation word, such as he is an M. He is an M. I have written abbreviation word M-A. M means masters. M means arts. M means master. A means arts. And their abbreviation word is 2 words, master and arts. And 2 words is constructed in 2 letters, name and A. So it is called abbreviation word. So we must remember that when we write an abbreviation word or any abbreviation, we must put full stop after abbreviation letter, abbreviation word. So our next item is comma. Comma. Comma is very important in written English, because we are the learners, we are the teachers, we are the students. So many people who want to learn English, they must know the idea of using comma, because comma is very important. And here and there we notice it in written English. So comma must be needed to learn English truthfully. At first, comma may be used after different words. If there are so many words in the same part of speech, we must put comma after every word. And before the last 2 words, we must bear in mind that between the last 2 words we must use and before the last word we cannot use any comma. We must put and in that position. Suppose I am writing an example. Suppose I bought a pen, a book, a mathematical instrument, sorry, a pencil, and Right. Dear learner, uh, observe the writing I have written on the blackboard. I have written, I bought a pen, a book, a pencil and a driver. Dear learner, observe the sentence very carefully. I have taken so many words in same participles, such as a pen, a book, a pencil and driver. These are the same participles and they are called noun. They are called noun because we can put comma after every word if they are in same participles. So pen, book and pencil and diary are the same participles and that's why I have drawn or put comma, pen, comma, book, comma, but the last two words there is no comma. In the last two words there is no comma and the two words are joined or connected with the conjunction end. So you should bear in mind that grammatical sequence. And first of all, comma is being used in this type of sentence. Okay, dear student. And next, comma is also used in case in apposition. Case in apposition. Now I am going to give an example of case in apposition, such as dear learners, I have written an example of apposition. You have noticed I have given or written comma after apposition. These words are apposition because it familiarizes Haran Chandra Sarkar, headmaster of a USC school, that means Alipur Women's Secondary School, is a benevolent man. So Haran Chandra Sarkar, there are maybe so many Haran Chandra Sarkar, but Haran Chandra Sarkar, headmaster of Alipur Women's Secondary School, is only one person. So it indicates Alipur Women's Secondary School, the head teacher. So headmaster of Alipur Women's Secondary School is the apposition of Haran Chandra Sarkar. So in this case, we must use apposition. We must use a comma after the apposition, before or after the apposition, before headmaster of Alipur Women's Secondary School and after these phrases. So we must keep in mind when we use apposition we must put comma. Okay, dear learners, and our next slide is vocative case. When we when we are going to write vocative case. Vocative case, that means the case which is used to call others by name, by words. Okay, so it is called vocative case. When we use vocative case, we must put comma after this word, such as I have written Rahim, listen to me. Rahim, listen to me. Rahim is a vocative case because I call the man or boy by name, and his name is Rahim, and so I am calling Rahim. Rahim, come here. Rahim, listen to me. There are so many sentences, and after the vocative case, Rahim is a vocative case. So I have written or given comma after vocative case. Rahim vocative case, and we should use comma after vocative case, and then we have to write another sentence. So vocative case needs comma. Okay, dear learners, and our next item is after absolute. After absolute, when you use absolute in this sentence, absolute, that means that is not connected to the main sentence. Absolute may be omitted, may be discarded from the main sentence. It never influences the main sentence. So we must use comma after the absolute. Now I am going to give an example of absolute. That is, dear learners, I have written another sentence of using absolute. So if you observe carefully, you must see absolute. I have used absolute in the sentence. Why is it the absolute? The absolute is the day being forgotten. The day being forgotten. This is called absolute because there is no finite verb in this part, and if there is no finite verb in any clauses, that is called absolute. Because if we want to write any clause, we must use finite verb or subject in every clause. So this is not a clause. This is an absolute. This is an absolute, and our main sentence is, we could not go out of home. This is the main sentence. And if we discard the day being foggy, the main sentence will not be hampered. So the day being foggy, this is absolute. Okay, dear students, and our another one. So dear students, we may use comma after repeating verb, and we know that in direct narration there are two parts. One is repeating verb and the other is reported speech. Before reported speech, we must use comma after the repeating verb, and if repeating verb goes to the last part of the reported speech, we must use comma before repeating verb, and I will show you two types of items. Okay, dear students, now I am going to give two examples, such as Gentlemen, please observe these two kinds of sentences I have written on the blackboard. First sentence, he said, comma, quotation starts, I am hungry, and quotation ends. And you notice that I am busy. This is reported speech. This is reported speech, and he said in reported verb. It is reported speech and it is reporting verb, and that's why I have written comma after reporting verb. And the next sentence or the second sentence, the same sentence but I have written in another way, such as I am hungry. I am hungry was at the last point of the sentence, but I am hungry in the first point of sentence, and after I am hungry I have written he said. He said reporting verb. Reporting verb, and I am hungry reported speech. But when reported speech comes before reporting verb, comma must be used after reported speech. Okay, after reported speech, and when reporting verb comes before reported speech, we must use comma after reporting verb. Okay, dear learner, this is the another type of use of comma. So we can see that a lot of items of using comma in English grammar, and we must know the knowledge of using comma in this type of sentences. Otherwise, we cannot be able to learn English fruitfully, English effectively in our day-to-day life. So, dear learners, these items are very essential in our daily English. And next, our next rule is when we use some phrases, that means adverbial phrases. We have seen in many areas of English sentences so many adverbial phrases, and if adverbial phrases is written in the middle of the sentence, we may use comma before and after adverbial phrases. And I am going to give an example of this type of rule. So, dear students, please follow me and look at the blackboard. Dear learners, he is capable and honest man. So, if you notice the sentence, you will become clear after analyzing the sentence. He is capable and honest man. Look at the blackboard. Capable. Capable is a phrase. Capable is a phrase, and it is a verb. And capable is used in the middle of the sentence after the verb. So you should use comma before and after this phrase. So we must keep in mind when any adverbial phrase or some phrases is used in the middle of the sentence, we must use comma before and after the phrase. Okay, dear learners, and our next example of comma is, actually I have to clean the blackboard. Suppose adverbial clause. Do you know clause or what clause is? Clause is a part of a sentence having a subject and a finished verb. And clause may be of different types, such as a principal clause, subordinate clause, and coordinate clause. And you know that subordinate clause is also classified in three ways, such as noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clause. And we know that when we use subordinate adverbial clause at the first position of the sentence, we must use comma after this clause. So, dear students, you must bear in mind that when we use subordinate clause at the very beginning of the sentence, we must use comma after the clause. Now I am going to give an example of a subordinate clause. You must follow me. Such as, dear learner, I have written an example of using subordinate clause. Please notice on the blackboard. The first clause is when the sun set, and second clause is it is from. This is called subordinate adverbial clause because this clause indicates time. So it is called subordinate clause. Subordinate clause may be of many kinds, and one of them is time. It indicates time. When the sun sets, we reach home. And as subordinate clause, adverbial clause, it is adverbial clause. If this is subordinate adverbial clause, and this is principal clause. This is principal clause, and this is adverbial clause. Adverbial clause. As adverbial clause sits before principal clause, that's why we must use a comma after this clause. And if principal clause sits in the first position of the sentence, we need not need any comma. Okay, dear students. So you should keep in mind that when subordinate clause goes after the principal clause, we do not need any comma. But when subordinate adverbial clause comes before principal clause, we must comma after the subordinate clause. So, dear students, that's all from me today, and I hope I will again meet you with the rest of item of concession marks. And before finishing my lecture, I will again suggest you to maintain health rules, maintain social distance, and I hope you will get rid of this disease. We must overcome this disease, and only when the medicine is invented, this disease cannot hamper us, cannot demolish us, cannot mar us. So we must be conscious of this disease. And at the very beginning of the year, all kinds of institutions getting started and getting closed, and still are closed. So in this free time, you must read your textbooks again and again, and you must develop yourself by reading more and more books. So, dear students, today is here, and I will again come to take this class if I get enough time. So, thanks to all of you. Welcome.